Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank my Heavenly Father for giving me this opportunity to speak with you today. I would like to thank the Dallas Community College, administration, faculty, and most of all, I'd like to thank you, the Diagnostic Medical Sonography class of 2011, for allowing me to share with you a few words today. A quick special thank to Miss Jan Bland, the program director, who always returned my phone calls over the past years, and ever since I've been a graduate, she's always been available for me, regardless of her busy schedule. So thank you very much. I want to question, do you know why your foundation is priceless? Do you know why your foundation is priceless? I like to illustrate my answer with a quick personal story. When I was a kid in East Texas, that's Kennard, Texas, that's East Texas for those of you who may not be familiar with Kennard, I used to love to build tree houses. Now, my tree houses were at the base of the tall East Texas pine trees. The reason it was at the base, well, Dad didn't really let me borrow his ladder too much. And Mom wasn't real crazy about me building anything in those tall East Texas pine trees. So I would build it at the base of the tall East Texas pine trees, and I would gather scrap wood, dirty wood. I would gather untreated wood. Some of the wood pieces were rotten. And I'll be honest with you, I did use some good-looking cardboard to fill in where I didn't have enough wood. And when I stepped back and I finished my tree house, it looked pretty good to me. It looked okay from my perspective. Now my mom was saying, "Why, son? Why?" Because it was such an eyesore to the passing traffic. We lived on the side of the highway, and it was such an eyesore to the passing traffic. But the first windstorm, the first rainstorm that came through, my tree house was history. It was gone. I eventually realized that it was the foundation and the low quality materials that I was using to build my tree house. And it would not withstand the storm. Now, the tree house didn't withstand the storms, and Mom was jumping for joy because the tree house was gone. Today I want to talk to you about your priceless foundation. Your foundation should be a source of confidence to you. This diagnostic medical sonography program has brought together all of the knowledge of ultrasound to you and presented it in an organized way that you will have the best opportunities to compete in this medical imaging profession that anxiously awaits you. This program has taken time to break down the science of ultrasound physics. When most people hear the term sound waves, they immediately think of, well, where is that sound coming from? How loud is it? But you, the class of 2011, you immediately think about, well, what megahertz is it? What frequency is it? And how you can see detailed human anatomy in multiple planes using sound waves. Your thinking has been transformed. This program has a multitude of applicants each year. A multitude of applicants each year, but only extends an invitation to 10 of you. And before you can turn in that application, you have to complete a core curriculum of 34 hours. Now, this 34 hours includes a course in anatomy and physiology. And they demand that you understand anatomy and physiology. They demand that you understand the course of pathophysiology. And that is part of the priceless foundation that you have, the courses that they demanded that you understand. Now, this program also demanded that you, at your hospital clinical rotations that you have rotated through, you've collected case studies. You've collected case studies, and you've had to research the case studies, and then you are going to present them to a listening audience in the form of a seminar. Now, this seminar is called Pathologies at the Paramount. Now, a lot of you remember the stress and the anxiety that you went through when you was preparing for the seminar. But your listening audience is scrutinizing your every word. Your listening audience are registered sonographers who have accomplished what you are trying to accomplish. Your listening audience are listening and wanting to learn something at this seminar that had to be a source of anxiety and stress. But this is just a fraction of your priceless foundation. Let's take a look at the multiple opportunities that's available in this medical imaging profession. Most of your family members and friends, they assume that you're going to get a nice plush job at an 8 to 5 at your local hospital. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's the route that you choose. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty attractive. But because of your priceless foundation, when I look at this side of the class, I see an opportunity in sales. An application specialist, maybe with a major ultrasound manufacturer such as Philips, Toshiba, maybe General Electric. I look at this side of the class. I see potential managers of ultrasound departments. Managers of ultrasound departments that is just a stair step away from hospital administration. And when I look at the entire class, because of your foundation, some of you will dare to choose the ultrasound educational track and follow the admired and highly respected Miss Jan Blunt and mold and plant that professional seed to a generation of sonographers that will follow you. Because of your priceless foundation, you are able to do that. Now, your foundation is priceless and very well designed. But it does not exempt you from discouraging moments. Discouraging moments in this profession that you will encounter ahead. I encourage you, always push forward. I'd like to give you a quick example of a discouraging moment that I experienced early in my career. I was 2 or 3 years in the industry. I was a diagnostic rad tech, registered radiographer. And I was working at the hospital doing x-rays. Now, during this time, it wasn't any MRI right down the hall. CT was the area of prestige and the area of respect. There were 3 CT positions that came open separately. I applied for them. I applied for them one at a time. Time after time, I was denied. So soon after the third denial, I quickly had a meeting with the radiology manager. And I gave her my resignation. She asked me, why are you leaving? I said, well, you skipped over me at least 3 times for promotion. And at this time, she wanted an exit interview. I was looking at my watch. I was thinking, I'll see you when I see you. I had some places to go. I wasn't interested in hanging around. Well, she asked me one question. She said, have you ever considered ultrasound? She said, we have a shortage in this industry. We need someone today. Have you ever considered ultrasound? I said, no, I have not. I'm going somewhere to learn how to do CAT scans. Long story short, my resignation turned into an educational leave of absence. I contacted El Centro College, quickly met up with Miss Jan Glenn. A year later, I was finished with the program, came back to the same director. Now keep in mind, I had 5 other offers, but I was already an employee here. So I was naturally thinking that I'd get that position. I came back because it was the plush hospital of choice. Had a conversation with the radiology manager, found out that her main registered sonographer had resigned and they had an opening. He had spoken to me, he said, Mike, the position is all yours. It looks like it's all yours. Had a conversation with the radiology manager. After 2 or 3 days, I heard the same answer. We are not interested in giving you this position. Now, I could have let that discouraging moment get the best of me. I was a bit distraught. I went and accepted the other positions that I was offered at other institutions. But if I had let that discouraging moment get the best of me, I wouldn't be standing here today as the founder and operations manager of Quality Medical Imaging that provides ultrasound services throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If I had let that discouraging moment get to me, I would not be standing here before you today reminding you how priceless your foundation is and how the medical imaging profession is anxiously awaiting. In conclusion, your professional foundation was designed so you can build upon it. Don't let your challenges or discouraging moments prevent you from pursuing your goals. But let those challenging experiences mold you into that seasoned profession that this medical imaging community is anxiously awaiting. All of you in this DMS class of 2011 have the potential to be great because of your priceless foundation that you've received here at El Centro College. I want to encourage you, don't always look at what this great medical profession can do for you. Look and see what you can do for this great medical profession. Finally, don't focus always on making a dollar. Focus on making a difference. Mr. Toastmaster.